This is the McKendree Road leading hopefully to the site of the former McKendree Miners Hospital. So one lane road, probably every, I don't know, 200 to 300 yards you can't find a wide enough spot to pull off. According to my Google Maps here, I'm still 1.7 miles away here. Like right here, someone could pull off if they needed to. And we'll see how close we could get and walk down to it if we can't get close enough. And here's a narrow portion of the road along the cliff. We're still a mile and a half away. A small slip here. You can see how narrow the road is. Okay, I'm down at McKendree, West Virginia, along the New River. I'm going to show you, I'm standing right here on a retaining wall. You can see that. This was then right in front of the McKendree Miners Hospital. My truck is right there, so you're able to drive down it. High clearance vehicle, but no issues. There's a little bit of retaining wall right there. You could actually drive on this path. I started to walk this way because I saw this, what do you call that, ivy on the poplar trees here? Just seemed unusual. And I could tell some vehicles have been on this path I'm walking right now. The CSX Railroad is right down there along the river. But look at this. This is the stairs leading right up to the hospital. Not that there's anything left of the hospital, of course. The hospital was built around 1901. I think it ceased as a miners' hospital in the 40s. And then until about 1953-54, it served as a, basically a senior citizens home for, as it says, the infirmed colored people. And when the U.S. Supreme Court issues its decision in Brown versus Board of Education regarding desegregation, it got shut down. Another foundation right here. There's a stone building up in there. We'll go look at these. I think they trained nurses here, and there were some places that the nurses would stay at while they were here, built away from where the hospital was. I'm going to dub in some pictures of the hospital, both when it was in use and then after it was closed down. I think there's some photos in the late 50s of when they started to tear it down. I'm not sure you could see this area here in the pictures, but I'll look. This would have been away from the Miners Hospital. Yeah, of course, graffiti. It's just the walls with this door here, so it's probably just storage of some type. There's a unique echo. Drain in the center of the floor. This is a massive rock wall here. This is definitely a retaining wall here. Okay, we're near the upriver end of the McKendree Miners Hospital site. This appears to be the last building before the hillside gets steep and drops off to the railroad in the river. This would have been a more modern structure the way it's built with blocks and concrete. That long rock laying there would have been the header. That would have sat up right up in here. Maybe this was a garage. There's a pit there. My guess is that's what this was some type of garage. Another old foundation. It's more like a retaining wall that runs along here. That would have outlined where the hospital was. The grounds of the hospital would be the better way to say that. It's a new river at McKendree. Railroad tracks there. This is what I mean by the retaining wall running through here. So these grounds here, there's more of a retaining wall sitting right in the center of the screen here. Or foundation. It's hard to tell after all these years. According to the 1880 census, U.S. Census, McKendree had a whopping population of 44 people. But for some reason they decided to put the miners' hospital here. I think the reason is there's a coal town downriver below Thurman, actually, called Berry, B-E-U-R-Y, and the man that it was named after, which was Joseph Berry, coal operator in Quinnamont, he wanted a hospital in that location, so he donated this land right here. So 1901 is when this hospital opened up. And I'm reading here on the historical website. The first year of operation in 1901, there were 171 patients here. And it was 1917 they built a nurse's home containing 17 rooms. Of course, coal started to go out in the 30s, so that's when the decline of this place came in. And eventually this closed in 1941. September 13th, 1941. Right before World War II started for the United States. So December 1, 1901 to September 13th, 1941, the Miners' Hospital was operated here. And following its closure, and here's the proper name, this became the West Virginia Home for Aged and Infirm Colored Men and Women, starting in October of 41. And then we had the 54 Supreme Court decision, Brown versus Board of Education, and this senior citizens home effectively closed in 55. And it says by 1969, all of the bricks in that home were torn down, and only the foundations remain, which of course, as you can see, are losing its battle to vegetation. There's only one photo I could find that looks north to south, or let's call it the upriver end of the hospital. So I'll dub that picture in right after I film this clip here. This is the only area with thin trees where there would have been a house going back that far. If in 69, 70, so we're talking 50 years of growth here, and that's about the most that you have right here with trees, 50 years. Okay, right there's some red brick, so I'm probably standing on the hospital site. And I did find one other picture where they were up close to the house, and it was red brick. So probably... We're going to walk up to that little structure sitting right there. This is obviously a much older structure here. All the vines running up and down those rocks. It's not made out of brick, it's rocks pieced together. This is the back side of it. You'll see there's some more foundations here. I don't know if you can see the retaining walls there. See this wall, and right up back there, another wall. And a modern foundation. And I say modern, remember this place went out in '69. I believe it's December 12th, 2021. And keep in mind, in addition to the hospital, obviously there was a very small community here. As I'm saying, house foundations all over the place here. It's a nice flat area here up above the hospital site. You see this row of rocks here, that's that retaining wall. Easily stretches about 150 yards. I'm standing up above the spot where the miners' hospital was. And I got the sun in my eyes here. I'm just directly opposite, like in this gap where those stairs are. Right there. I have 3 or 4 pictures from the downriver end I'll dub in here. I'll go take a view along the path and then superimpose my trucks. And here's the flat. Okay, the stairs are kind of hidden there, but this is the flat where the miners' hospital sat. And the pictures I'll put in, they all kind of look like there'll be a picture of a man standing in front of it on the downriver side. That's kind of the angle that I'm looking at here. And if you look at the panoramic picture of it that I'm going to dub in, I'd say off to the right side of the building from this perspective where the man is standing, there's another building offset in the background. I think it's where that white building is that I walked into that has the graffiti on it. Okay, once again, I'm at the stairs leading up to this flat here. So if you look in that panoramic picture as you come up the hill from the river, once you get past the tree line into the open, that's basically where I'm standing. And I'd be pointing right now in the direction of where this miners' hospital sat. And in this area here where all the small trees are, makes sense it would have been here. I found a lot of brick in here. And again, way past it, yeah, just can't see the white building from here. I have to walk up a little further. Scant evidence of the red brick here in the ground. This is at the downriver end here. Again, here's the set of stairs leading right up to this flat that was located. Yeah, can you see the white building through all the mess there? Trying to get a little bit of an angle of it here. There. Okay, if you look at that, I'm going to point out in like the 1969 picture off to the right of it. I believe that's the building that's set next to it on the right side as you're facing it from the river. I'm trying to match up the hillside. If you see off in the upper right part of the screen, off to the right side, the dip there, and then it goes back up the hill. I'll again put this picture in so you can see that same kind of dip there. Now, I think that picture was taken. Coming down these very gradual stairs here. 4-inch risers. I guess that's good for a hospital. A couple hundred yards downriver of the McKendree Miners Hospital site. There's a road that leads along here up above the tracks. You see this house foundation. Little scant evidence of the community that was once here. McKendree is just right around the curve there. I walked off this path that leads down from the McKendree Miners Hospital. Came straight across the tracks here to the other side. There's like a large sandbar down here. Right here. Yeah, I see bits and pieces of foundation all over the place. You see the red brick underneath that there. Probably a cellar house. Yeah. Just the way that's built, I'd say exactly that's what that is. Old cellar house. The foundation's over there. Another remnant of a foundation cellar house, who knows. It's a new river down there. You can see how high the new river gets at times. I'm 15 feet up from the river here at least, in elevation from the river level. And this is that sandbar. If you see this set of sandbars on the map, when you're looking at McKendree, you'll know the hospital's right up above it, going straight up the hill. Right on the riverbank now. What a serious hole of water this is. I could hear a rapid below it. Nice sandbar. It's the cellar house foundation there. Looks like another house foundation right here. Stone. Hard to say how many are along here. Right up on that little flat there where all the ivy is. McKendree Miners Hospital, 1901 to 1941.